Hello guys, welcome back to You Can Code. This is Yukesh. Today we are going to see, or today we are going to continue Python basics, which we seen yesterday. So we stopped yesterday in for loop. So we continue from for loop. In for loop yesterday we saw a range. So in for loop range having three parameters and having two parameters. But yesterday we saw a range having two parameters. So we saw that first, and we will see a range having three parameters also. For x range having two parameters like from 0 to 10 we can give, then we can print or just x. Yes, okay, you can see from 0 to 9 we got values, but it is having it's a method called range having two parameters. We will see range having three parameters. So it's like if I given value 2, so you can see the difference clearly here. So from 0, okay, something wrong, right? It's like printing one, it's like printing the first index, not the second index. Okay, sorry, the output is correct only. So it's like first value is like I equal to 0 or I equal to 1, and second is like I less than value, so it's 2, so it's printing 1. If it is 0, we are incrementing, it is increment value without parameter, so we need to change this arrangement. We have to give 10 and we have to give 2 here. So now we can see the difference. For range, when you give 1 to 10 and increment 2, it's like will increment by 2, or it will just increment by 1 when you don't given any parameter for increment. The third parameter is increment parameter. This is nested for loop. You can see here. So I am having a list of strings, two list of strings. Okay, one is having a it's like red, big, tasty, and another list is like fruits. Okay, so we are going to print the both list. You can see multiple statement can't execute by the compiler. It's like shell, so we can execute one by one. So our adjudication is executed and fruits is executed. So now we can execute the for loop. You can see red apple, red banana, red cherry, big apple, big banana, big cherry, tasty apple, tasty banana, tasty cherry. So you can see for every value or every position in first array or first list, the second list will print three times. So for red it will print three times. Okay, and big. So it's like getting the value from one parameter, and or else we can use dictionary also here. So based on the key value pair we can print. So this is for nested for loops. Okay, and we can see some keywords. It's like yesterday we see go break and continue. So another keyword is there for it's like to perform nothing. So when you want to break like a loop, we will use break, or when you want to continue, it's like force continue the loop, so we will use continue. When you want to do nothing, or else if I show you for x in adj. Okay, so without print or anything, without giving anything here, I can't complete this statement. So I'm giving here like this. You can see it is not executing because it's expecting some statement, but we are not giving anything there. Okay, so if I give print of x, so it will stop. Or If I don't want to give anything under the for loop, it is unnecessary code. But if you are want to do something like this, then we can use pass. So you can see now it's executed the statement, but it does not show any output because it's just passing the control. So it's for nothing. When you want to do nothing, we can use pass for some reasons. Now we'll see function. Yesterday we saw some simple function, so it's like a sample we saw yesterday. We will see function with parameter today. We saw it like this: print something. We can give, okay, we can end this. So we can call this function sample now. So it's like a simple function in Python. So today we will see function with parameters. So we can copy the same. So we can give some parameter here. It's like x. So we are going to print x. So we are going to call the function sample with some parameter. So you can see our value is printed. So else we can define the function in some other way. It's like x plus, or else we can give it like this: value, okay, plus x. So you can see values are okay. It's like a simple parameter passing. Or if you want to pass multiple parameter, we can pass. We will do that also. So already x is given, so we can give y. We can remove this. Can make it, or we can make it like this. For any, we can consider it as a plotting numbers. So if you want plot some number, some 10,9, you can give. So else, okay, it's like multiple parameters. So the parameters we can give, the multiple parameters we can give uh, in any format. Like first parameter we can give string, and second parameter we can pass value. So okay, okay, we will see some other examples of function. So we will consider the same. This you can see our sample function will accept two parameters now. So what happened if I pass 3? You can see positions 2, but we are given 3. So when you don't know how many parameters are going to be used or going to be passed, that time we can redefine our function like this. Like we can remove the parameters, we can use star, and we can give some parameter name like xy. Okay, we can print our xy here. So now we can pass any number of parameter at any format to our method. You can see. So it's like simply giving a single parameter, some parameter variable using star. So it's like a list. Now we can use anything. Now we can pass a number of parameter to it, or we can get it like how can I say, we can by index we can get it. So we redefine the function. You can see now I just want to get the only the first parameter. Okay, so if I pass the same, I will get only the first parameter. Or else if I want to find the length, of this. So I can give another print to find length. Or else we can give it like this, length of, okay. Now we can pass same. Okay, you can see length is 3. It's our first parameter printed here. So using the length we can get the exact parameter positions like first parameter, middle parameter, or last we can get. So it's like when you don't know the number of parameters going to be used or going to be passed, we can use this. Now let's see some functions with key value pair. Okay, key value is like so we can use this. We have to remove this and we have to give some x, y, z. Okay, it can be different, or else we can remove this. Can use only one print is enough. So we are going to print the key or value. Okay, so we can make it as, we are going to print z. Just consider we are going to print z now. Okay, so I'm going to it's like key value pair. Key value pair mainly differ in the function calling. Okay, here instead of this you have to give key like x equal to some value and y equal to some value and z equal to some value. Okay, so you can see the z is now used. So it's like you think that without the key value also it's like same, x is going to be assigned this and y is going to be assigned and z is going to be assigned with this. So for that we can change the parameters. So now we will understood. So you see that now for this function calling we got this sng output. So what happened when I use this z, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to use it at the first. Okay, so now you can see I will get the same. So it's like in previous we see number of arguments unknown. This is for the argument position unknown. We know number of arguments but we don't know the positions exactly. It will match. Okay, that time we will use this. Okay, so the argument positions won't be mismatched. Exactly the z only will be assigned to this z. Okay, for this the keywords it's like the parameter variables must be same. Okay, it's like xyz and same here key value will be xyz. Okay, as you see here this method is for this type of function is for number of arguments unknown. This is for position to avoid a mismatch of positions. Okay, so we are going to mix these two. So for that we can make it as double star. For single star for this, okay, it's for double star. Okay, in double star we can use same xy. We can use same print here, but the position should not be like this because it's key value, right? So what is the key you are giving, that should be inside this. So now we can call the same function. You can see, so it's for number of arguments unknown and giving key values. Okay, that time we can use this type of functions in Python. Now we can see default parameter in Python functions. Okay, it's like default parameter. Okay, we will take this, can remove this and make it as xy equal to some name. So no parameter, no param passed. Okay, just consider it, no param passed. Okay, so when parameter passed, that value has to be printed. So sample something I'm passing, so you can see value is printed when thing is passed, so no parameter passed. It's like default parameter, so we can assign values to the parameter. When no parameter is passed, the value will be considered. Okay, so this default parameter functions can be called with and without passing values. Okay, now we can see how to pass and return values from function. Okay, so can we same, we don't need this. So we are going to multiply, and we are not going to print, we are going to return. Okay, so we can call this sample with some value like 1 comma 6, so value will be 6. We can call 10 comma 60, value is 600, so I'm giving simple numbers for multiplication. For me it's easy. Okay, so we can give complex number also, because I'm not doing multiplication, system only doing here. So it's like complex, right? So complex we can give it as, okay, for multiplication, or we can use it for addition by changing the symbol. Okay, it's like returning the values, so you can understand it better when you are adding some values to the returned value. It's like print plus, okay, plus I can use plus, so with 100 I'm going to add. So 7 into 67, it's like 469. I'm going to add 100 with it, so it's like 569. So when you want to return some values from function for doing some operation in the called place, so we can use this type of methods. That's it for today. Like and share and subscribe to this channel. You can go share this to your friends. If you think it's like you want something in some other language, or if you want something more in Python, you can comment. So I will do video on the topic. Okay, it's like learning, it's like you have to understand the problem solving skills. Once you know how to solve a problem, then you can easily write a code. So first thing is like problem solving. So develop your solving skills, so it's easy to code then. Okay, let's see tomorrow. Bye, stay safe.